Hi viewers, welcome to Majesty Christian Television Network. My name is Apostle Helidu Dokiano coming to you this evening, and I thank you for making room in your home to receive me or with any of the devices you are using. I do appreciate your relationship with this noble media network. God richly bless you. So today we have a very special topic, examining African culture from the modern day perspective. I think it's very interesting because from time to time, it's like our culture and our tradition is being looked down, and then somehow in this modern perspective, we are now seeing some of those things as being um, outdated, and sometimes we also look at it from another perspective as if it is something hidden, something that ought not to be practiced. But if you look very well in some of our cultures, you'll see that they still have value, and they have substance, and the way we used to do those things in those days should somehow play out in this modern day culture. So permit me to introduce our speakers or our panelists this evening to you. So from my left, I have Chief Ifeanyi Ezike, popularly called Owa of Agata. Chief, welcome, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
So we also have our own Norway, a renowned comedian in the diaspora. So in case you really want somebody to make you laugh, please remember comedian Norway. Welcome, please.
It's a pleasure.
To Majesty TV.
Thank
I
you,
hope
bro.
you can crack one joke for us. My husband is already laughing because the other time you cracked that one in the studio, we laughed and laughed and laughed in the radio studio. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was too powerful. My guests, they kept telling me, please bring that guy again. I say in early morning shows, you don't need to be cracking this sort of joke. Well, permit me to also introduce to you Elder Uyi Olaye, who happened to be the Vice President of the Nigerian National Association in the Netherlands. Elder, welcome, please. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So please, relax and enjoy the show as it comes, and feel free to give us a call on our studio line, which is 020-3374-160. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you make your comments and then send forth your information, and then we can as well read them, or your questions or your concerns. And then we can read them out, and then just be fully participatory. I think that's the right English. Thank you so much. So, gentlemen, what is the traditional way of welcoming people in your home? Because all we know now is just this handshake. But in a typical African culture like the Igbo setting, how do we welcome people? How do we receive people when they visit us? Yes, I'll start with you. Yes, any one of you.
Okay.
Can take up the floor.
In an African setting, traditional African setting, as an Igbo man,
Yeah, okay.
we have those people that are misters. Misters is Mazi, and those people that are chiefs. The chiefs are Ndi Chies.
Oh,
So the red cap chiefs. So if he's Mr., you give him a normal handshake. But if he's a titled man than Ndichie, then you slap with the back of the hand 3 times.
oh, really?
And then 1 with the front of the hand.
Wow.
So that is how you welcome
Ndiche.
Ndichie. And then the wife, if the man is an Ichie, he gives the wife a pet at the back to welcome her.
Okay, really?
Yes.
Can you demonstrate, please? Do it now for me.
Yeah, you bow.
Oh, like
Then
this?
the man will
Oh,
Give you a
really?
pet at the back.
Oh.
Yes, you don't shake cheese.
Oh. This is funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But are you Iche? What are you then? Iche?
I'm an Ichie.
Oh, then why did I shake you? You should have.
Because we are in the modern world, shouldn't be practiced in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So when you come to Rome, you do like Romans.
Oh,
So
okay. You see, you
yeah.
see. So if I would do this, um, in Africa, maybe it will amount to a fine or what?
In this modern day, it doesn't amount to a fine, but we still there is where there is still practiced at this particular time.
Yeah.
We still practice it.
Okay.
And when you reach in Africa and all, you will respect it.
Yeah.
You will respect it because we doesn't forget from where we come from.
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. Let me hear from all the other panelists.
Like he rightly said, it depends on. There are age mates, there are pair groups. If you see them, you can just greet normally. You can shake hands. If I meet my age mate now, I can shake hands with
Yes.
him. There are a lot of there are many ways in which you can greet. Maybe if we are in an association, some people they remove two hands. You know, there are a lot of ways of greeting your pair. But if you see an elderly, like in my village, if I see an elderly man, I use my two hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You put
yeah,
it so.
yeah. I use my two hands to shake
Shake
the
him.
person.
Okay.
If I am sitting down, I must stand up.
Oh, okay.
I don't just sit down and greet an elder. No,
Oh,
I must stand up, use my two hands, and then shake him.
wow. So when an elder comes to your home,
Yeah,
that's what you will do.
yeah. I don't just sit down and greet him. I have to stand up, show that respect and reverence. To
But
him.
that is to an elder. But to an ordinary
My
visitor.
who is in the age limit with me, I can just be sitting down and greet him. It depends
Okay.
how we are. If we are maybe friends, good friends, I can greet him anyhow. But if he's maybe not my good friend, we don't roll together, I can also stand up to show welcome him. It's a sign of welcome to him that you are welcome into my home.
Okay. Elder, really, let's hear from you.
Yes, like my co-panelists have actually said, we are Africans, and we came from a very, not minding how many years we have lived in diaspora, we came from very, very traditional and cultural backgrounds in Africa. And Africa, I think, if I'm not mistaken, has one of the most celebrated, revered, and sustainable cultural heritage.
Yeah.
You know, and we have so many cultural affiliation with our history.
Okay.
You know, and as enacted by our ancestors, our forefathers, and we have very, very wide traditional norms and values. And we have, and these things, this cultural heritage and traditional norms and values is you know, is played on every aspect of our lives in Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, and they are like rules. It's like the Christian folks across the world have certain Christ-like rules and inhibitions which they would be expected to follow as those who profess Christianity. That is the same thing we have in our culture. And these cultural beliefs and norms, like I said, are carried out in every aspect of our life. You know, it's like the Bible talks about everywhere, every aspect of our human existence. It is the same thing. Our cultural values and traditional norms touch every part of our living, of our lifestyle, of our character, of our behavior, of our conduct. Okay? So when it comes specifically to greetings, like my brothers said, in the African setting, we were born into a culture and nurtured to give extra respect to the elders.
Okay.
Whether you go to meet them in their homes or they come to your home. It is more honorable when an elderly person comes to your home. Otherwise, in Africa, one is expected to go to the elderly person's home.
Okay.
Yes, normally. But sometimes there are certain circumstances that will make the elderly person come to your home. Okay? And in either way, we are called extra respect and honor to the elderly ones, whether they are males or females.
Okay.
And for example, in my Bini culture in Edo State,
Yeah.
you don't stand and greet, for example, your father or your mother or an elderly person in your family. You don't stand when it is in the morning, when you wake up in the morning. You don't stand to greet them. It is not allowed by our culture.
What do you do?
We kneel down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the Yoruba people.
We kneel down and give them there's a traditional way of greeting them. Okay?
Yeah.
In our dialect, there's a traditional word you need to say as a morning greeting. All right? And there is another way of greeting even in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
There is another way of greeting in the evening. And so, when you wake up in the morning, for example, you see your dad, you have to kneel down.
Is it still being practiced
Yes,
now?
yes, it's still being practiced.
Okay, now you are
by
in the
those
diaspora.
by those who are really believers of the culture, of our culture.
Okay, what did you teach your children? Are they greeting you that way?
They don't greet me that way because I didn't teach them I didn't oblige them.
Okay.
I didn't give them that because my children grew up in Europe.
Yeah.
And I didn't oblige them to do that. But they greet me still in our traditional way. Both my wife and my children greet me in our traditional dialect. Even though my children don't, unfortunately, I will say that, they don't speak my dialect because I didn't teach them.
Yeah, okay.
So they speak different other languages, English, Italian, Dutch, but I didn't oblige them to learn my dialect. Okay? And for that reason, but the only thing they know is how to greet me and their mother, my wife, in the morning in our dialect. They know that. Okay? And I don't oblige them to kneel down to greet me. I didn't see it as something I should insist on. Because I feel I'm not just God, and why should somebody kneel down to greet me?
Okay.
Even my children, it's not. I didn't feel it was an obligation.
Okay, so in your culture, if I come, I visit an elder, and maybe I didn't kneel down to greet this elder.
Yeah, if you are not an indigene, then it's an offense. Yes, if you greet for example, particularly in the morning, you see an elderly person, maybe your eldest brother, or your eldest, particularly men.
Oh,
particularly men, you see your eldest brother in the family, or your uncle, who is an older person, or your father, a man, you must kneel down to greet him. If you don't do that, then you have shown him disrespect.
okay.
Yes.
So this respect we are talking about is only about men receiving it, and
Also
the women
women.
not.
Also women.
Elderly women, do they receive that as well?
Yes.
So
they
how
do.
do
when she's really, really elderly,
that's the only time they can,
then you can kneel down to greet them.
but not applicable to men. The men you can greet as long as it's
Yes,
just a bit old.
it is traditionally, men are usually traditionally giving more respect in the African
Culture,
scenario than the women. But
Really?
but also the women have their own areas where they are also honored and respected so well in the African setting. Yes. In my own culture in
Your
Benin.
own culture, yeah. Okay, wow, this is so awesome. So so when somebody would not greet you in that manner by kneeling down, do you consider it as an offense?
As an individual,
Your younger sister, let's assume your younger sister who is married now comes in, is she supposed to still kneel down and greet you?
because I'm the eldest brother.
Is she supposed to kneel down and greet you?
Yes, definitely. It doesn't change whether she's married or not. Doesn't change the culture.
Okay.
You know, because that is the same thing she's supposed to do even to her husband. You know, when we were in Africa,
Yeah.
when I was still at home in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
in Benin, I was already married.
Okay.
And my wife wakes up in the morning and she kneels down to greet me.
Yeah.
But when we
Came here.
left Africa and
Yeah.
we came to Europe, I didn't oblige her to do it anymore because I didn't see it as
So, but is she still doing it?
now
She has copied the culture here now.
no, not because she copied the culture. Because I stopped her. I said, "Don't, honey, you don't need to kneel down. You know, just greet me normally in my dialect, and I'm okay with that. You know."
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, anyone who is out there just joining this broadcast, remember we are discussing and examining African culture from the modern day perspective. So in case you have any contribution to make, please give us a call on 020 3374 160. This is coming live to you from Majesty Christian Television Network, discussing with the elders in the land. All right. So when somebody has come, or chief, or what then happens? The kola nut, because in the Igbo culture we bring out the kola nut, and then we bring out oba. Is it very necessary?
Yes. It's
What
very-
does that really mean? The kola nut we are giving. If we don't give the kola nut, does it mean we have not accepted the person? The
that-
person wouldn't sit down.
That is what it signifies in Igbo land.
Okay.
When
Tell
an
us.
Igbo man offers you a kola nut, you know you are really welcomed to his home.
Okay. Yeah.
When there is no kola nut, you know that you are not welcomed. Not maybe that I visit my I can visit my friend.
Yeah.
You understand me? We can do pali and all, but when you visit a traditional Igbo man,
Yeah.
he must offer you a kola nut. The Igbos celebrate kola nut.
Yeah.
The Yorubas grow kola nuts. The Hausas eat kola nuts. But the Igbos, we celebrate kola nut. It's a very significant
Way of receiving.
product, a very significant thing in Igbo land, the kola nut. When they offer you kola nut, you know that you are really welcomed in that home.
Okay. So if they did not offer the kola nut, then it means you are not accepted here.
Yeah, you are accepted, but acceptance is maybe half.
Wow.
So you understand me? I don't know. Yeah, but let me say yeah. But when they offer you kola nut, you know that that place is your home.
Yeah, but in the modern day now, we don't offer those things.
Because maybe here, maybe it's not
can't
available.
see
It's
it.
not available.
It's
It's
scarce.
scarce.
Yeah, it's scarce.
They have to import it.
Yeah.
You can go to where you buy. They say it's not there, so you cannot kill yourself.
Yeah, I saw you smiling. You want to add
Yeah,
something
what
to that?
he said, what he said is the right thing. In back
Wow.
home, it's seen that when you are visiting a family, that when they offer kola nut to you, you are more than welcome into their home. You understand? You have that sense of belonging that hey, these people that you came to see, they are happy to see you. In some cases, even there is no kola nut,
Yeah.
they will apologize.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the visitor doesn't carry the kola nut in his own pocket in case I go. They didn't offer me. Let me offer the kola nut
No,
to us.
no. It must be brought from whom you are visiting.
Visiting,
Yeah.
okay.
And when there is no kola nut, they will apologize to you that we don't have it
Kola,
now.
yeah.
But they can bring something to represent that kola nut, or
Like garden egg.
like garden egg or other things
Yeah.
to tell you that please have this. We don't have kola nut.
Wow.
But kola nut is of
Much
more
importance.
importance to welcoming visitors into our homes.
Okay. I'll come back to that. So, Eda Uye, what do they offer after the person have visited? What do you offer to that person?
To our guest.
Yes.
In Benin, we also, you see, kola nut is an African symbol of honor to
Okay.
our guests.
Okay.
Also in Benin, just like in Igbo land, kola nut is very symbolic.
Yes.
But usually, kola nuts are mostly offered when an elderly person comes to your home. Somebody that is an elderly man, not
Yes.
not boys, not young men.
No, no, no.
Those ones they don't really give much. Instead, they ask you to bring beer
Yeah.
or bring
Cola or something.
Guinness stout and all those stuff. When they are young men.
Yeah.
Probably between the age of 25 and 40. They don't emphasize those things.
Yeah.
But when a man is already 50 up, and you go to visit a friend, a family friend or friends, they also offer kola nuts. You know, they offer kola nuts and drinks. Usually kola nut and hot drinks.
Okay.
Yes, and then before they start the discussion, they pray with those things.
Okay.
If it's an important discussion or a family reunion or something like that, they must bring the kola nut, and the eldest person in that group, even if he's elderly to the next man with only 1 day, one was born in the morning and the other man was born in the evening. They know these things when they were born. It is the man who was born in the morning who has the traditional right to break that kola nut, even if they were born the same day.
Oh.
Because he is elderly in our culture.
Oh,
the man
okay.
born in the morning, even if it's the same date, is elderly to the other one.
Okay.
You know.
So applicable in Igbo lands too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know. So
The elders break the collar,
you know, it's the
okay.
eldest person who breaks the kola,
except the elder gives
Yeah,
an
to the-
authority to
yeah,
the young
young
boy.
and then he will touch it.
He will touch it.
You know, if he doesn't want to break it, he say no problem. He will touch it like this, and which means he has given you permission to break it.
To break
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that is it. We offer
This
also
is
kola
mean a
nuts,
lot.
but in the modern day, you see, these days there is a big difference.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, I'm talking about about 40 years ago,
Yeah.
45 years ago, and all that. We saw it with our fathers, with our grandfathers, and our neighbors. When they have visitors, some of them sit down outside openly, and when you pass by, they are outside in the compound. You know, you see them, and when they offer kola nuts, and they are doing their thing there.
Yeah.
And so, I would say, unfortunately, these cultural norms are being eroded today. It's like there's a flood on the gutters, and is flooding them all away.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, it's just like I said earlier. I didn't insist. I didn't oblige my children to kneel down to greet me. Which means I'm also part of those who are eroding our culture away. You know, because I didn't see it as must they kneel down to greet me. You know, so the years we have spent in diaspora has affected our mentality so badly that we do not give reverence and sustenance to many of our cultural heritage and values anymore. That is why when some of us travel back to Africa, to our base, to our root, certain people do not like the way we comport ourselves, not because we want to comport ourselves like that. It is that same mentality we just brought from Europe through the flight, and we land there, and we even forget the behavior we had. You know, after many years of staying outside the country, we are also tempted indeliberately, not intentionally, indeliberately, to behave differently. And sometimes our parents, our elderly ones, our friends are offended. You know,
Yes.
they are offended and say, my friend, what do you think you are doing? But do you know this is not how we do it? You say, oh, I'm very sorry, I almost forgot, I'm sorry. You now find a way to cope with the culture that exists in our root. So these things happen. It's an unfortunate thing that we are breaking so much of our cultural heritage because of our long stay in diaspora.
Thank you so much. So, if an in-law visits, your in-law comes, what's the right way of the man coming, and what's the right way of you receiving him?
In the
yes.
in the Igbo land,
Yes.
an in-law is a very important part.
Because I know that most of our youngsters, they are marrying here, and then it's like they just marry without anything. So when they see their in-laws, they just stand and shake. Is that the right way? And then are there some certain things they're supposed to be doing
Yes.
as in-law?
The in-law is part and parcel of the family.
Okay.
An Igbo man considers the in-law the part and parcel of the family.
Yes.
After the man, the wife, the children, the fourth person in the family is the in-law. Just like they said that the press is the fourth esteem of the realm. So you understand me? The in-law is the fourth person in the house after the wife, the man, the wife, the children, and now comes the in-law to the in-law.
Okay.
So to show the importance of the in-law in the family, the in-law can go and live with the people where he marries from.
Oh.
Yes, if he doesn't have any accommodation,
Yeah.
he can return and live there. So that is how the Igbo man values the in-law.
Okay.
And when the in-law is now coming to greet either the father or mother-in-law, he must come with something.
Yeah. Like what?
Like the head of the family, the man, you can come with a hot drink,
Okay.
particularly aromatic shinap.
That's very famous in Africa.
That is very famous in Africa, aromatic shinap. So you must bring it to your in-law when you are coming. It's not a must to, but at least
You must have something.
you must have something. And then the wife, you buy certain gifts to the wife,
Okay.
which she's going to appreciate very much. And any day the in-law says they are coming, it's just like a mini feast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they are going to cook very delicious food for them, especially in Africa, where where meat is an important something.
Yeah.
So they must point to a fowl or cock, which they will catch and kill. So that you say, yeah,
The law will know that
that
they have
the in-law is coming to show how important he is.
Okay.
So that is the importance of an in-law
Yeah.
to the family. So he's part and parcel of the family.
Wow.
So
Is that the same way? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, in my own village also, it happens in the same way, because when an in-law is coming to you, the way you receive him tells him or her that, hey, we are together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are welcomed, and my home is your home.
Yeah.
You can come at any point in time. Your challenges are my challenges.
Okay.
We are together. We can talk no matter what. We can, eat together. We marry together. That gives him also that sense of belonging, that, hey, this my in-laws, and it will also go a long way in making him to treat the wife
Very well.
very good.
Oh.
Yeah. It will make the bond
So that's
will
the
be.
secret behind.
Yeah. It's a kind of bond.
Igbo people.
Yeah.
Because we cherish our in-laws so much.
So much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the secret.
Yeah.
So that the in-law would take good care of their daughter.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
When he remembers how they treat him when he visits,
Hmm.
of necessity he must treat the woman very well,
Exactly.
no matter what happens.
Yeah. Awesome. Really. Right. Then I think the modern culture is really diluting some of these things,
A lot.
whereby people don't even have any value for their in-laws, and they're only concerned with their immediate, the one that, the one they married. So most of them don't even know their in-laws, and they don't make any effort to go and know. That's wrong.
And that's why you see a lot of divorce now and
Yeah.
breakages in marriages
Yes.
now because they don't have that fear that, hey, what if I do this? What will my in-law
They
say?
don't. Some of them don't even know the in-law.
So when you don't have that fear that what would this, because maybe when each time you go there you establish a bond together.
Yeah.
So when you want to take some decisions, you
Yeah.
remember him.
Yeah, it's true.
But when you don't know him or you don't have that bond with him, you can make a decision and stick by it. And
Wow. Wow, it's true. There's sense in that. And how do you Edos receive your in-laws?
Yes, you see, there is something that is synonymous in almost every Nigerian culture.
Okay.
They look alike.
Okay.
Just like in Igbo land, the Benin land, we accord lots and lots of respect to our in-laws. Particularly the parents of our wives.
Yes.
You know, yeah, the family of our wives also accord respect to our own parents, the father of the, or the parents of the husband. But there is an extra respect and reception that we give to the parents of our wives in Benin land.
Okay.
The reason is this. We believe in Benin that for a man and a woman to give birth, right from when the woman was, the mother-in-law was pregnant with the child, she had started making sacrifice for that child. And the child is born and it's a girl child, and they bring her up and they train her and feed her and send her to school and do everything that they are supposed to do for the girl child. And she grows up to the extent of to a marriageable age, a marriageable adult age. And one man just come from nowhere. and
Nowhere.
Yes, he just came from nowhere and picked her, not even with the consent of her parents. He said, young lady, I like you, I have affection for you, can we be friends? And before you know it, she's getting attached emotionally to that man whom her parents don't even know. And then, this girl now, to an extent, will start giving more attention to that man, like I try to describe it, quote, from nowhere, who doesn't even know her parents. Okay? And then, until it will get to a stage, culturally, where it will become necessary, if the relationship stands, if they remain together in a relationship, where the man will be obliged at a certain stage to go and see the parents of that girl. Because she's from a home, she has parents, she has a family. And so, she must go there, he must go there with it, not alone, but with his own family. Some members, important members of the family, to now formally go to introduce himself. To say, with a lot of respect, he may even be required to kneel down before the father of that girl. To say, he will also sometimes apologize for not letting them know on time that their daughter has been with him, has been in a relationship with him. Even though they know that this is the boyfriend, this is the man friend of our daughter, but it's not formal. He must respectfully go to them in the home of the guest family to formally, traditionally introduce himself and the family he came from.
Yeah, but when we talk about in-law, we're not talking about people who are still in courtship. We are talking about people who have married.
Who are married already.
No. I'm telling you the importance and the respect we accord in-laws.
Yeah.
Okay, it starts from even when they are not married.
Really?
Yes, it starts from particularly when the man now is obliged or now decides to go and formally introduce himself. It's a kind of respect for the in-laws. Okay, you cannot just go and one day you say, I want to marry your daughter. It's not acceptable in Benin. You can't just jump from nowhere and say, I want to marry your daughter.
Really?
Yes, we see it as a sign of huge disrespect. You must first of all come to introduce yourself to us, to the parents, to the family
Every culture does that.
of the girl.
Every culture does that.
All right, and then when it comes to greetings, like you ask, or giving reception, you know,
Yes.
or giving a reception, a welcome or a reception to our in-laws, like I said earlier, it has a very special form, and extra respect is attached. That is because of what I said earlier, that those parents made so much sacrifice to bring their daughter up to a marriageable age, and you found her worthy to become your wife. So those sacrifices they made are the reasons why we accord extra respect to the parents of our wives. And when, for example, the in-laws wants to come to our home for a visit, like Onwan said, we prepare extra to receive them. We make them feel respected, we make them feel welcomed, we make them feel honored and valued. We make them feel that their visit is a sort of happiness and blessing to our home. Okay, that you must do to your in-law, particularly the parents of the woman.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how we do it, and we give them extra convenience for them to feel relaxed in our home and be happy. All right, and when they want to go, particularly the mother-in-laws, when they want to go back after the visit, it could be a day, it could be two, it could be a week, it could be whatever time that they feel like. We don't determine how long they stay. It is the in-laws who decides how long they want to stay with you.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't determine, Mama, you have to be going now. No, it's not done. That is disrespect to her. And when she wants to go back,
Till now.
yes, till now, traditionally you are not supposed to tell your mother-in-law, Mama, you have stayed visit us for 1 week. I think it's time you should be going home. No. She will never return to your home again. You can't tell her that. Let her stay as much as she wishes to stay. Even if it's 1 year, remain. Let her stay. Don't ask her to go. Yes, that is the culture. And now, before they go back, the man and his wife, the daughter of that same woman, must talk privately and say, what are we going to give to? Because Mama will say, I want to go, I will be going tomorrow or next. Or I will be going by next weekend. You must prepare something for her to remember that her visit. Either a particular amount of money or a gift, that will make her say, oh, it was when I went to visit my daughter and the husband, that was when they appreciated me.
So
with this gift.
if that person comes without invitation, unknowingly, the person has come, and it happens to be when there is no money in the house. So what are you supposed to do?
Well, it does happen.
It's open. Is that the same way we receive them?
Everything, this question you throw to me now is not particularly about culture. It's about mutual understanding between the in-laws and the family maybe the man is marrying from. For the in-law to come unannounced.
Yeah.
Unannounced. All I know is that he or she must have come for an important message.
Okay.
Maybe she never planned. She doesn't, or he doesn't plan to stay more than a day or two. You understand me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But this is supposed to be a mutual understanding between the two families, where everybody have a family. So you cannot go to your in-laws' house unannounced except you come on important message. So if you are going in the Igbo land, that may not require to have a gift for you. And him also visiting you in that manner may not come with a gift too.
Oh.
Because of the urgency of the matter, he or she came unannounced.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I see it as
Yeah.
it's about human behavior. It's about, like he rightly said, mutual understanding. If you have that mutual understanding between your in-law and you, whether he or she comes with a gift or not, it doesn't really count
Yeah.
because the understanding is there. You
Okay.
people understand yourselves.
Yeah.
But if he now and if it's announced, you see the in-law going extra mile. Even if he doesn't have, he will go and borrow. If it's announced that I'm coming to see you, if you don't have, you must go and borrow
So
to make sure you entertain him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way they do it then.
So if the in-law is more elderly than the of course the in-law have to be more elderly.
Yeah,
Certainly.
because
So is the in-law going to kneel down and be greeting you in your own culture?
no.
No, I don't understand.
If the father of the
Usually, it depends on which in-law you are referring to. In-laws is a wide word for
Brother-in-law.
brother-in-law. If my brother-in-law is younger to me, and he came to my house to visit me and my wife, maybe probably the younger brother of my wife,
Yes.
he has to respect me for my age. He has to come to me and respectfully greet me, because I'm an elderly person to him.
Yeah.
And he is a younger brother to my wife. So he must respect me and my wife, when he comes to us. But we must also receive him with love.
Wow.
We must also, because he's younger to us. You see, in the African setting, we say this person, you see the neighbor of my father, for example, the other man who is the landlord of the next house to my father, or even the 10th house to my father, any elderly man who has a house on the street where my father lives, I refer to them as father. You don't tell them. You see, we refer to almost all of them as our fathers.
Yeah.
Not because they are our biological fathers, but because they are the age mates of my father. So most of the time we greet them like, good evening, father, good evening, papa. That's the way we refer to them. Just like I greet my father. It's the same thing.
Really?
Because of their age, the respect we have for them. And then he will reply, oh, my son, how are you? How is your family?
Yeah.
So that is the way we do it in Benin. And like I said, many of these things are being thrown away. Okay,
Exactly.
are being thrown away. And today, you see a young man who, in one way or the other, has been able to make some money. And they because of the type of money they have, or education they have,
Yes.
or exposure they have, they no more give the cultural respect to the elderly ones. Okay? And the elderly ones accept it that way.
Yes, because
Because he comes to the area from wherever he is, and any elderly man he sees, I'm not saying everybody, some do nowadays, where he has made money, he has gotten some level of popularity, and the rest of them, some achievements in life, and then he doesn't respect the elders that much anymore. He respects only those he feels like respecting. Okay? And so that is part of the adulteration that we have seen today in respect to our culture.
Thank you so much. Well, I will ask our comedian to just give us just a little one, so that because we are seeing that it's like you are so tired and you just want to say something. Well, hold on. Those who are watching us, and if you feel like making a call to the studio line, remember you can call us right now on 020-337-4160 from any part of the world. You are free to just call. Just put plus, then 31, then 20, then 3374160. Those also who are watching us on Facebook, we appreciate you. All right, tell us, comedian. Give us one.
Sorry, viewers, I don't have anything for you, but next month on the 27th, you can come to Egoli and laugh because I'm having a show on the 27th of next month.
Oh, you should have at least given us a little tip. Ah, my God, you don't have anything. So is it not when you crack just a little, then they will know, and then that will just
They
set
watch
them
out for the
up.
advert.
That will set them up, and they want
They
to
will
come.
watch out for the advert.
Wow, awesome, awesome. Well,
I
if
have
you,
a question.
yes,
Is our set of culture and traditions, the customs which we've carried down the ages till today, are they sustainable in today's world, today's system, today's lifestyle? Yeah, it's true that because of living in diaspora, everybody's scattered, and some people don't even do the things they used to do. And then when we get home, then we get a conflict with those back home.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically speaking, looking at our customs and traditions, are they sustainable in today's world? That's what I would like to know from our panelists.
exactly.
From my own point of view, I don't think they are sustainable here, especially in the
Yeah.
European zone, because you see a situation whereby a father is no longer playing his role as a father because of the condition of the society where we live in.
Yes,
You
it's
see,
true.
you see a son.
It says speak loud so we
You
can
see
hear you.
the son trying to, sorry to say it, called police for the father. This is what our father used to threaten us back home. But the children are now using it to threaten the fathers. It's very, very wrong. You see, you cannot stand your feet on the ground and talk to your kid and talk to your children. It's very bad. You talk to them, they tell you they will report you to the whatever society they call it.
Yeah.
It's very, very wrong. And it's making the children not to have that fear. I don't call fear, even the Bible said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That reverence, fear that leads to reverence.
Yeah.
Because it's when you have that fear. I remember my father used to have this motorcycle. I used to hear the sound from maybe 15 minutes before our house. And everything I'm doing, I must make sure it's something that is right.
Yeah.
When I hear the sound of that machine coming in. Yeah, it's very, very, yeah. When I hear that sound, I must make sure the house is clean. Everywhere the sitting room is clean.
Yeah.
Because if it's not clean, I am in soup. So, I have that fear that leads to reverence for him.
Yeah.
When he comes, everybody's quiet. You are talking about receiving visitors now. You will be in your parlor receiving visitors. Your kids are there playing game. Immediately a visitor comes in our parlor, I disappear. My father don't need to talk.
Yeah.
Immediately there is a visitor in our parlor, I disappear. He doesn't need to tell me. That is the thing. But your visitor will come. The kids will be there making noise, playing game. What are we? So it's not sustainable, Apostle, here.
Wow. Yeah, right.
I agree with what he has
Yes.
said. It's not sustainable,
powerful
and
point.
sometimes the children get confused.
Okay.
They get confused because they are practicing both the white man's culture and African culture. They go to school in the white man's setting and then comes home to the African family.
Yeah.
So they speak you language barrier. You speak this language to them. Maybe your wife is not from your tribe. Your wife is from another tribe. The father speak his language to them. The mother speak his language. Now then he will go to school and then
Get another one.
another language. So sometimes they get confused. So I don't see how this thing can be sustained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see how all these things can
Yes.
be in ourselves now. Yes, we get the training from home,
Yeah.
but when our generation finishes, I don't see how this whole thing can be sustained
Exactly.
because of this millennium age
Age,
yeah.
children.
Exactly. So you spoke too much about the way it's been done in Edo. Do you think it's sustainable?
Well, I think I would, to a large extent, talking now generally,
Yeah.
agree with my brothers because I just gave you an example. I do not oblige my children to kneel down to greet me. I
Yeah.
do not oblige my wife to kneel down to greet me. But that's my culture. If they are at home, they are, I don't need to even to tell them.
Yeah, that's just
They learn it from birth,
Yeah.
and that's it.
becomes
I don't need to
thing.
teach them. They know and they see it every day. Okay? And then another thing is I still believe that certain parts of our culture can still be sustained wherever we are. For example, our dressing. You know,
Yeah.
we still put on what we call the agbada
Agbada.
and the traditional cap
Yeah.
and all that. Even here in America, anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
we still represent our culture in the way we dress, and we have the right to make our choices. You know, to wear. For example, I have more African dresses than
Western.
the English than the
Dress.
Western dresses.
Yeah.
That we can sustain. We can also sustain other things like our languages, particularly those of us who were already adults
Yeah.
before we left our countries. That one will not go away from you because, for example, I speak my dialect with my wife on a day, normal at home, all right. But I do not speak it with my children because they will not understand. They understand, but they cannot reply me,
Yeah.
all right. And so those ones, to a certain extent, we can sustain, you know, within the limits of our reach, and also within the limits of the laws of the land where we now live today. For example, in Benin land, when we were growing up, when our sisters were born, they were all circumcised.
Yes.
All my sisters were all circumcised. It was a tradition, it was very important. You cannot just say no. But the truth in here is this. Sustaining our culture, in my opinion, is not about where we live
Do
now.
you mean circumcision about the woman or man?
Both.
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 All of them.
Both. Both.
Well, I don't think it's been done any further in even Igbo land.
In certain areas, they still do it. So,
It's still being done. No?
yes,
no,
in
I don't
certain
know.
They
areas.
stick to
They
it.
still
Some,
do it.
some stick to
communities
it.
still do it,
Yeah.
Yes. So,
especially in the rural places,
yes.
not in the
So,
urban places.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it is not only in Europe, in America, or Canada where we have now difficulties in sustaining our culture. Even right there back home in Nigeria, in Benin, in Anambra, in wherever,
Yeah.
our culture is not be sustained because of this jet age thing, technology, information technology, telephone, smartphone, all these new age apparatuses here and there have changed the mental horizon and the mentality, both socially and emotionally and culturally, of our people, even right back home there.
Because some of
Okay.
the cultures,
Okay. For
some
example-
of our culture is geared towards oppressing the woman. It's geared towards not making the woman be herself. It's geared towards, because I've been listening to our conversation, then I got and wondered, why would it be just the woman that is kneeling down and greeting the man?
No.
You married her, and then you want her to be kneeling down and greeting you. What does that mean?
No, but the African culture does not allow the man, most of the time,
Number two, again, we are
99
talking about circumcision. So why would she be
It's the both.
circumcised?
It's the
It's
both.
both.
It's
It's
both.
No, but the circumcision that I know in the Bible is only a man.
No.
No.
There was no
It's both.
circumcision
It's
for a
both.
woman.
It's
No,
both.
there's both.
You know, the Bible calls man, and it refers to the both.
You know, no.
So
it
the
was
both were circumcised.
Yeah.
So when Abraham was asked to circumcise all the children, all the people in his household,
No.
so Abraham circumcised.
Everybody, even they call man, they refer to both.
No, but that I know about that. But when there are specific times when that man is refers to just man.
That one is instruction.
So there was
given
no
to
time.
him.
Yeah,
He
there
said,
was no
circumcise
time.
all the male.
Male.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
male
I know
child.
it.
No,
It
male
was an
child.
instruction.
But that's not female child.
No. I said it was an instruction. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean don't circumcise the female.
Yeah.
It was an instruction. God knows why he had to give that instruction.
To circumcise
Do
the
it.
men.
Yeah. I
And
don't
not
know.
the women.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
it was peculiar. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
So
he had to
what
do
is
so.
bringing the change now is because we are in a jet age where women don't need to be suppressed.
You see, Apostle.
Because
you
I
see-
don't.
No,
You know,
let
even
me
me.
give
I
you-
can't understand it. Even me.
No,
when I will want to bring food to my honorable husband, then I have to kneel down to give him the food.
That is your culture.
But in Igbo culture, that's not our culture, isn't it?
Yeah, Sarah calls the husband Lord.
I can call him Lord, but I
these
don't
are-
kneel down.
these
I don't
are-
kneel down.
Yeah, it's not about kneeling
You
down.
see-
These are their ideas. These are ideas. It's not as if there is something attached to it.
Yeah.
These are ideas.
I don't need
It's
to
their
kneel down.
cultural
No,
belief.
these their ideas of reverence, kind of.
But does the man also reference the woman?
Yes,
Why-
in
why?
another
you
way.
call your honey, you call her Lolo, you call those things. These are reverence.
Another way
also.
to reference her,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
her also feel,
Yeah.
feel that she's
Accept
somebody.
them. Yeah.
Exactly.
These are reverence.
Otherwise, it becomes...
She must have pet names.
Yeah. You know, you give her those pet
Pet
and
names.
yeah.
Because when we are discussing it, then it's like only the man.
No.
power
This
to-
is a two-way thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced.
You
It's
see-
supposed to be balanced.
You see, I want to say, it's not necessarily like that. That setting of our culture is always geared towards oppressing the women.
No.
That's not true at all.
It's barbaric. If
You
it's
see,
like that,
you
it's
see,
barbaric.
it's a cultural thing, and
Yeah.
these women enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't complain.
No. They have no option.
No, it's not about option.
know,
Because
They
the
enjoy
moment-
it.
And that is
The
the
moment
same
you
way.
don't do
That
that,
is the same way.
you are being tagged a rebellious woman in the community.
No.
It's the
No.
same way that men have certain obligations and
For
certain,
their wives
certain
also.
responsibilities
Yeah.
you must fulfill to your wife.
Yeah.
And so
And they stick to it
these
also.
things are not easy to be fulfilled. But you are the man, then you have to do. According to the culture. If you don't do it, you become a disgrace to the community.
No.
There's this one that was not even able to do this.
No.
For example, you didn't go to pay the bride price of your woman.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
they see you as one
yeah.
one person that has no respect, that is not
Wow.
this thing. And the parents of your woman, even if she has had 20 children for you, you have no right to control certain part of her the way she will want to do things. And the family will not respect you. And then there are certain authority you want to exert on your wife to say, look, I'm the head of this family and this is what you must do. She will tell you no. I'm not, in fact, I'm not even your wife. You didn't pay my bride price. I'm just a lady friend who have children for you. So you are not my husband. And that is the worst word that can come out from the woman's mouth. It's in fact like the biggest insult that a woman can give to a man. You didn't pay my bride price. I'm not even your wife. Oh my God. That man will almost be crying. Tears will come out of his eye because it's the biggest insult a man can receive from a woman.
Really?
So you must go to pay the bride price. It's a
very
responsibility.
important.
So just as the women have responsibilities by culture, it's the same with the men. Okay? So eroding our culture away, sustainability of our culture has become very difficult, not only abroad, outside the country, but
Back
only
home
even
also.
right there in Africa. For example, my eldest daughter was born in Africa.
Okay.
And my parents wanted her circumcised because that is the culture, a very strong part of our culture. Very, very, very serious. I refused.
Yes.
Do you know when I refused, because I was already an adult, I was working as a journalist, and I have traveled to so many places, and I got exposed to knowing that this thing is not necessary.
Yes.
And then my mother told me, he said, look, young man, look, you cannot break the culture. If you break it, then you are in trouble. Now, I said, Mama, but why? He said, because any girl that is not circumcised becomes a prostitute. She's going.
Those are the myths. You see, those are
Yeah,
the
but
myths.
these are
She's
things
going
that
to-
tell
they
them
believe-
then to
they-
stick
they-
to what they
they-
you know.
they
You're
believe-
supposed to understand. It's not as if it's real, but they tell them this so that they will follow suit.
No, they
in
believe
what,
it. They believe it.
What I'm saying is,
You
but
know-
it's not real. Yeah,
that's
but
what
they
believe.
say it so that you can.
My dear, let me
stay
tell you
focused.
this.
It's
Let me
not
tell you.
real at
Let
all.
me tell
Don't
you
even
people.
go that side.
No,
To
Because
some extent,
the one
to
about
some extent,
this Western
there is
women.
there is true. What they are talking is true.
No, that's
No,
not
no,
true.
no, no,
To some
no,
extent.
no. They use it
You
to
understand
deceive.
me? It's not true.
It's deception. It
you
is
know what I
based
told-
on deception and lies.
You know what I told my
Yeah.
mother? Then I was still a young man.
It can never
you know,
be true.
No, no, no.
I was still
Otherwise, all the white people will
Yeah,
become
yeah,
you know,
no,
it's
no.
not true. It's
No,
not true
it's
because,
never
for
true.
example, I told when I insisted my daughter will not be circumcised. They say, "What? Are you the first way to start it in family? That your daughter will not be circumcised?" I said, "I'm sorry, I have to start it because it's not right." Okay.
Also time,
To
I
shorten
need
the
to
story,
go somewhere.
I insisted and I refused. And then I told my mother said why I was called to I was summoned to a family meeting that your daughter is going to grow up to be a dog and then she's sleeping here and there. I said, Papa, Mama, it's not true. They said, but what proof do you have to say it's not true? I said, because I've had many girlfriends in the past. Those I saw were not circumcised. Some of them I knew were even more disciplined. Even
It
more
has nothing to
morally
do with
disciplined than the ones that were circumcised. So
Prostitution is
how do
in
you
the head.
convince
If
me?
you want to do it,
How
you
do
do
you
it.
how
It
do
has
you
nothing
convince
to
me
do.
that the ones not circumcised are more morally spoiled? It's not true.
know.
So I did
These
circumcise
are
my daughter.
baseless facts.
Awesome.
They are baseless facts
My
that
dear,
they,
let me just chip in.
Chip
this.
in before we sign up.
Yes. Those our elders then, those olden days people, you know why the story I heard about the circumcision is it reduces the sexual urge of a woman
That's what they say.
when they circumcise her. But you now come and look at it. In those days there were no condoms.
No, it's true. It reduces because when
There
she
were no
doesn't-
condoms. But nowadays we have condoms. Because you are giving example that these white men will be prostitutes and all this. Those days they have the white men have been using condoms before it reaches Africa. So some extent it's true. But to me, I don't like it.
No, the point which
You understand me?
he is mentioning is very clear. To reduce the sexual
Urge of a
the-
woman.
No,
That
it
is
is
what-
because
that is
when,
the story they told
when
me.
they have cut
It's not
off.
true.
No, it is.
I'm
when
not
they
a
have
woman.
cut off.
Maybe.
but
I'm not
no,
a woman.
No, when they have cut off that which will supposed to make her give her the excitement,
Excitement.
they have cut it off.
Yes.
What then?
No,
That's
are you-
why.
are you-
Excuse me.
what are you
Let me
enjoying
come.
then?
Let me come here. That's why most of our mothers never enjoy sexual relationship with their husbands because it was too painful for them. Secondly, they could not. There are some of them that have no clitoris. So
Yeah,
what are they supposed to enjoy anymore? So the thing is gone. It's totally gone. So it reduces.
You see the sexual
Are you
urge of
talking
a
about
woman.
are you talking about the urge or the excitement?
this is
They
what I
are two
wanted to
different
ask.
things. They
Yeah.
are two different things.
Urge and excitement.
The urge, the libido,
excitement, you
libido-
can't have it. We can't have
When it
excitement.
reduces your urge now, you cannot be excited when you're having the sex.
no. It's a
No.
different
There are
thing.
two different
Yeah,
things. You
there
see,
are two
libido.
different-
What the urge is brought about by the libido we
Libido.
have.
Yeah.
The urge is from inside.
Inside.
It's not done whether there is clitoris or not.
Yeah.
Okay, is
For
from the
excitement, you can
The
talk.
excitement during
yeah.
You agree?
intimacy.
Yeah, during the sex, you
During-
can.
during intimacy.
Excitement. It
Well,
brings about
Okay,
excitement.
but how come many of our girls who were circumcised, they have no clitoris at all? They are very morally spoiled than even those who were not circumcised.
This is
Why?
about exposure and what
It's
you
a-
want to
see,
do.
it's
It's
not-
not
it's- I
about
don't
the
believe it.
clitoris or the cutting
I
or
don't believe
not the
it.
cutting. It's about your
You know.
mentality, what you want
You
to
know.
choose to do.
Well, from a medical point of view, it has been proven. So
The
without
excitement, yes.
you
I
there is
buy
no
that.
enjoyment in sex
Yes.
when those things are gone.
Yes,
So
I-
leave the body of the women the way it is, because God who made it that way didn't tell you to go and cut it off. Leave it. It's not part of the deal. The only where circumcision came in the Bible, it has to do with the man. Circumcise the man, God told Abraham. And then I don't know where we copied it, and then we began. And then this myth behind it that it will make them to reduce their sexual urge. Yeah, that is very clear. They will become promiscuous.
Yeah.
It is
True.
wrong.
It's true.
They can never become promiscuous
No,
just
no.
because they have their thing intact. So that is another part which we will discuss some other
time.
day. But I think culture, the good aspects of our culture, or the aspects of our cultures that are good must be retained, and the ones that are not very healthy, like this one we spoke about now,
They abolish it.
must be taken away, so that people should be free. So you didn't circumcise your daughter.
No,
So is she flirting around?
she's still a virgin. She's 22.
So that's it.
Because you have not tested it.
Then why they
Recently, she was not. Recently, she was sick.
She have not
and I
tested
took her
it.
to the hospital.
She test it now, you will see.
Recently,
So if you get your own, if you get a daughter, that's what you will
It's a
do.
very good thing she has. Check your daughter. Let her be a virgin until she get married. It's good. But but I can tell you, if she tests this thing, she may come out of gear. Yeah.
Oh my God!
well, my daughter probably she's,
And I
she's a
don't,
very good Christian.
I don't agree with you about this prostitution. If anybody that enters prostitution is to make money.
It's about the mindset. It's not about cutting or not cutting. It's what
What
you
is
want.
about
It's
prostitution?
Not, yeah, it's not about the circumcision that leads to prostitution.
No.
No. That is what I'm telling him.
Yeah, I just want
No,
to say.
there was a thing he said that,
No, he said
they
something.
said that
Apostle,
that person is
I'm
going to be a
leaving.
prostitute.
Somebody's waiting for me. Sorry.
My dear, you're on air.
Exactly, you are doing this.
No.
Okay.
You're on
So-
air.
okay.
You don't talk.
Okay,
such
move now.
Move.
Okay,
Yeah.
Apostle.
No, move.
Move. Because
Yeah. Okay.
so,
So in rounding up, then, what are we saying? Are we saying that we supposed? Are we saying that we're supposed to maintain those cultures, or do we need to get rid of all those sorts of cultures that are not very good?
anyways, certain cultures this circumcision supposed to be get rid. We're supposed to get rid of these certain cultures like the circumcision, certain cultures like the humiliation of women. It's not sustainable again. So there are certain ones that need to be sustained, and there are certain ones that we don't need to be sustained.
Amen.
So that is my own opinion.
Okay. So you are looking into the camera to say that it's not decent for women to be humiliated in any form.
No, you cannot humiliate a woman. They are human beings.
Okay.
But we need to accord, the husband and the wife supposed to accord each other respect.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Elder, tell us before we sign up.
Yes, it's obvious. You see, life is changing every day. And like I said, the culture, certain parts of our culture are not being eroded only in diaspora, but also right there from our root in Africa. Because of the changes in technology, education, awareness, information, exposure, socially or otherwise. These things on their own are changing our culture. And but we must be careful, because certain part of the bad ones are being neglected now, are not be sustained. Obviously, some certain ones that are not really good, But unfortunately, some good ones are also being eroded along with them. Women don't respect their husbands anymore. Women don't show that their responsibilities as wives and mothers, because they believe the modern day time does not give room for that, and that one is what has grown up, what they could refer to now as feminist drive, where a woman treats the husband like a houseboy.
No way.
And treats him like a nobody, and the husband has no right to control her. He has no right to check and balance the attitude of the wife. particularly here in Europe, even right here in Amsterdam, we have seen women who, for flimsy excuses, throw their husbands after the home, and they throw him into the cold winter just because he argued with them, because he argued with his wife.
No, it's
in
not
Africa, that does not exist.
No, it's not good. As
Our
well.
culture forbids it, our
Yeah.
religion forbids it,
Yeah.
our tradition
No
forbids
matter
it.
what.
So it's so sad that the sustaining our culture has become very difficult, and it's unfortunate that the bad ones are going on their own, one after the other, certain primitive parts of our culture and tradition, but also sad that even certain good ones are being eroded along. So that is my pain. That is I want to appeal to Africans to please be careful how we allow our culture and tradition to be eroded so swiftly. We must be careful to select those ones that are still useful to us, to our life, because certain of our culture and tradition are synonymous with the religion we practice, with the Christian faith. As Christians, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not sleep with another man's wife, thou shalt not. There are so many laws we know in the Bible as given by God.
Yeah.
All these things are exactly the same in our tradition. You must not do them. So we must keep to the good ones and sustain them and do away with the bad ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder. Well, so soon we have we are rounding up this very broadcast. And remember, the topic has been on examining African culture from the modern day perspective, and we thank God for the community leaders who have contributed their own quota. Once again, Chief Awan, thank you so much
Thanks.
for being with us.
It's a
Elder,
pleasure.
please, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And we also say thank you to the comedian Noe, who had to rush out because he was expecting somebody. So those of you who have watched this, remember, next week Saturday, you're going to watch it on Salto 2, the Amsterdam television. And stay tuned until we see you again next week. Thank you so much, gentlemen. God bless
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, viewers.
Thanks.